Today, we are having a cereal throwdown. I have found the 8 most popular cereals, most eaten cereals, and we are bringing out the big bracket to have a throwdown to find out what is truly not just the most eaten, not just the most popular, but the best. And listen, if you want to be like all these folks saying hello right now, you should come and hang out on stream with us. And since you're here right now, you should sub anyway, right? Down there. Now, here's the thing, chat. We have got 8 cereals that are, from what I could find, the most popular breakfast cereals in America. Now, where does that data come from? Let me show you. Now, so these are the 8 most popular based on the percentage of them that responded they had eaten these cereals in the last 12 months. So our 8 competitors today are Cinnamon Toast Crunch, taste you can see. Cheerios, standard Cheerios. We got Fruity Pebbles. We got Cap'n Crunch, standard Cap'n Crunch. Apple Jacks, Frosted Flakes, Lucky Charms, and Kellogg Raisin Bran. And I brought out the big bracket. I have seeded them based on their popularity. The other thing we need to address, chat, is that obviously cereal is generally eaten with milk. We're eating it with milk. But sometimes we're eating it straight out the box. We're eating it sans milk. So for each one of these, when we do the throwdown, we're doing a bite with and without milk, because I think we may find that some cereal is better with the milk and some cereal is better without the milk. I've got milk on hand. We've got bowl. We've got spoon. I've even got, so that, you know, we can be very scientific, I'm going to empty any remaining milk between tastings so that the earlier cereal in the milk doesn't taint the flavor. Whole skim or 2%, 2%, because when I was a kid, that's what my parents bought, and so I've just never questioned that decision in my entire life. That decision was made for me, and I've never asked any questions about it or thought on my own. Anyway, are we just going off taste or also whimsy? This is a taste test. Now, some of these I think the mascot is better, but this is a taste test, and we're going to start with the number 1 seed taking on the 8 seed. We're going to take Cinnamon Toast Crunch v Raisin Bran. I'm gonna tell you, first two, I like them both. I probably have eaten more CTC in my life than Raisin Bran, but I went through an interesting phase where I was real high on Raisin Bran. I will tell you that Alan, big fan of Raisin Bran. In fact, when he's on a Disney cruise, he often will order the Raisin Bran on his hang tag if he orders breakfast to the room. But CTC is one that I will often eat straight out the box. Man, so good. Blast of a real thin, man. And here's this nightmare. Yeah, it's great. All right, let's get, I'm just gonna get a little bit here. I'm gonna give a little milk, just a little 2%. Make sure all of our pieces get a little slosh. Now, CTC, I think famously, people like the milk of the CTC because that cinnamon sort of gets in the milk. I like cereal with milk, but I'm much more likely to just have a box of cereal and eat right out the box, just in life. I mean, it's so good. I will say, getting soggy fast, but it is so good. I think it's better dry. The milk does wash away some of that cinnamon flavor. That's very untoasted Pop-Tart coated. What, to eat it dry? I genuinely just think untoasted Pop-Tarts are better. If by that you mean I've identified the correct and best way to eat something, then I agree. You and I are on the same page. Okay, the Raisin Bran. This is just standard Raisin Bran. We're not talking Raisin Bran Crunch here. We got the high fiber, keeps you regular. Delicious raisins, perfectly balanced with crisp, toasted whole grain wheat and bran flakes. Oh, this is a cereal bag that doesn't want to open. Let me get in here. Let's just get a little handful, I guess. Oh God, I'm already not looking forward to this, if I'm honest. Uh-huh. Well, I don't love that. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't care for that at all. Now, again, I like Raisin Bran, but I do think this is a cereal that needs milk. It's funny because, and this may be a hot take, but this is a cereal. 1, I do think milk helps it a lot. But 2, I don't mind it getting soggy. Like most cereals are like, it's a race against the clock. And with Raisin Bran, you're kind of like, no. What if it was a little wet and soft though? Wouldn't that be better? let me get this. Yeah. Immediately better. It just needs milk. Let me just say this. Taking that dry is rough. Oh? What? What happened? I do think this is a clear blowout victory. The CTC is both great dry and in milk. It is a little bit of a race against the clock, but even when the cinnamon comes into the milk, it makes the milk taste really good. But this is a clear victory for me. CTC moves on. Okay, next, a real different contender here. We've got Cheerios versus Lucky Charms. Just plain Cheerios. Just plain Cheerios. Oh, look at this. A little cheer goes a long way. At Cheerios, we believe tiny gestures can brighten someone's day. Affirmations are a small way to care for yourself or someone you love. We're cheering for you. We're nice Cheerios. All right, so it says, pick one of these daily affirmations or write your own and practice it today. This is lovely. Shout out Cheerios having a couple of, different language representation there. We've got my best is good enough. Sometimes. We've got I grow and learn every day. I make the day brighter. Unless you're a real downer. Sorry. My perspective is unique and important. There's your affirmations. I mean, don't lie to yourself. Like, let's do affirmations, but don't be dishonest with yourself. Anyway, Cheerios. Now, this is one that I don't have that much of a history with. I think I used Cheerios more in crafts. I basically think other breakfasts are just Cheerios with in them, though. That's all Lucky Charms is. Okay. Oh, they're heart-shaped. Oh, that's cute. A heart-shaped Cheerio. A little handful dry. Yeah, that kind of tastes like nothing. Are they left over from Valentine's Day? I don't get the, I think it's just that they lower cholesterol. It says it's a limited edition. Does it say that? Oh yeah, that's true actually. It's not Valentine's Day, but it does say limited edition with heart shapes. I don't think it's going to affect the taste. So, funny story about Cheerios. I'm a preschool teacher. One time I pie trained a boy by throwing Cheerios to it. I think that's a pretty common way to train boys to in a toilet. Give them a target. All right. Cheers. It's fine. I think Cheerios are very, very consistent. I think that they basically tasted exactly the same, wet and dry, but also it kind of doesn't taste like anything. It's a solid cereal option that's not, horrific for you. Now, on the other end, we've got Lucky Charms, which are basically just Cheerios, but they put marshmallows in them. This is a special box. Also limited edition. It has magic clovers that turn the milk green. Also, there's a new trap on the back. The f does that mean? A new trap? Trap Lucky. Why are we trapping him? Cut along the blue lines, including, and you make a diorama of some kind. It's a trap. Let's just give a little handful here dry. I mean, listen. The thing is that the non-marshmallow parts of this are basically just Cheerios. And then you also got the marshmallow parts of this. Trying to see if it'll turn this milk green. Oh, it is kind of doing it. So, cheers. I mean, listen, this board is not going to be, this is the cereal you should all eat as adults. This board is not going to be, this is the healthiest cereal. But I would be very hard pressed to say that Cheerios aren't better with marshmallows in them. You add a bunch of sugar in there, and I do think it makes it better. I'm not gonna lie. So we got an upset in the second round here. The 7 seed overtakes the 2, and I'm moving Lucky Charms on. Now we gotta go to the 3 seed. We got Fruity Pebbles versus Frosted Flakes. I don't think I've ever eaten a Fruity Pebble. You're so right. I did eat Fruity Pebbles because of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and learning about what that meant. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, I think of Fruit Loops is much more popular, but I'm wrong, apparently. So let me get a little one of these. I mean, it's good. It's tasty. I find them a little hard to eat dry, to be honest, just because they're very small and flaky. They fall through your fingers, I think is what I'm trying to say. Let me get some milk in there though. A little bit of milk. They do look great in milk. Man, the color just gets very vibrant, I feel like, in the milk. I feel like the milk activates the Fruity Pebbles, and they're like, hello, we're bright and colorful. That's tasty. Soggy fast, but, you know, it might have a little CTC effect here, where the milk is taking on some of the properties of the Fruity Pebbles. That's pretty good. Now, they are coming up against a cereal I've eaten a lot of in my life, Frosted Flakes. They're more than good, chat. They're great! Frosted Flakes was a staple cereal in my house. I've bought less recently, like in adulthood. Definitely better suited for the dry eating, I think. They're not as small. We call them Frosties in Australia. Oh, I learned something new. Yeah. Frosted Flakes of corn. Man, I think that these are great right out the box. I think that sugar that they've got on them is a great level of sweetness. I think they're a good snacking cereal. Let's get some milk on there. Yeah, that's good. Man, that's good. I was thinking to myself, because I haven't eaten Frosted Flakes in a while, do these things lose the sweetness? Like, they sort of get in the milk, they kind of like lose their sweetness. But I think that is delightful. I'm not bothered by the artificial sort of flavor of the Fruity Pebbles, but I do think it's probably like, it's not bad for a bite, but probably the whole bowl, it would get a little old. Both are good. I think this is a solid matchup. This is the closest matchup we've had so far, but I am going to do, we're going to do a second upset, chat. I'm going to move on Frosted Flakes. I'm going to move on Frosted Flakes. All right, and final first round matchup, we have got Cap'n Crunch versus Apple Jacks. All right, Cap'n Crunch. The epic adventures of Cap'n Crunch versus Jean Lefoot. Jean Lefoot is stealing the crunch. This is Jean Lefoot. His grippers are in fact out. This is Jean Lefoot. This is Jean Lefoot's foot. This is Jean Lefoot's foot's grippers. Get in there. Hey, look at those grippers. Look at those. Jean Lefoot is stealing the crunch. Work your way through the waves to capture his key before he escapes. I do like an activity on the back of a box. It's just a maze. Where's the key? Oh, it's not a very hard maze. I guess they think kids are not smart. It's literally just that. Unscramble the letters above to discover what makes the Cap'n cereal so crunchy. Unscramble the, that's T apostrophe S A. So you can go over. I'm stumped, chat. Apparently this one is for kids they think are dumb. This one is too hard for me. Maybe I'm dumb. Okay, Cap'n Crunch. Now I am more of a fan of Crunch Berry. That's my preferred Cap'n Crunch. Man, that is good though. It has such a unique flavor. Nothing tastes like the Cap'n. I do have a desire for those Crunch Berries to be in there, but man, I love Cap'n Crunch. It will tear the roof of your mouth up a little bit. Oh, look, chat, you can get Cap'n Crunch instant oatmeal. You can put some crunch topping on your oatmeal. They also have Cap'n Crunch Milk Bar. Those things are disgusting. Y'all remember Milk Bars though? Where they would have like layer of cereal, layer of whatever the that was in the middle, and then another layer on the bottom. Ugh, gross. That's delicious. Let me get it with some milk. Let me hit it with some milk. All right, get in here. We'll get a little bite. I mean, it's great. I like Cap'n. Now again, it's not my preferred version of the Cap'n, and I do think it's worse for not having Crunch Berries. Of all the varieties, I think that's the worst one. All right, but it is contending against Apple Jacks, another one that I've eaten many a time. Grew up eating a lot of Apple Jacks. I do remember the commercials for this, very iconic. What's this one say? Hey everyone, you're just in time to join Apple and me as we film our very first Apple Jacks video. Oh, they're content creators. Look, the Apple is a content creator. He's got a green screen. I got one of those back there. He's making content. Look how cool and modern the Apple is making content. Let me get some Apple Jacks here. Man, Apple Jacks rock. They rock! They're so good. We gotta do a little milk. Hit it with the milk. Apple Jacks probably deserve more credit than they get. Like I said, I was shocked to see them in the 5 spot on this infographic. I remember loving them as a kid. I remember them having very iconic commercials as a kid, but they feel very 90s to me. But man, I'm eating them now and they're great. They're great. Yeah, I think it's good with milk too. Those are fantastic. Apple Jacks are so good. I think this is gonna be a hot take. Crunch Berries Cap'n Crunch is one of my favorite cereals, bar none. Like it is a top tier fighter for me. But OG Cap'n Crunch, it's good. I think in what I just ate that Apple Jacks is better. I think it's better. I think I gotta move on the Apple Jacks. I think they're just better. If this was Crunch Berry, I think it would take it. Because it's not, Apple Jacks is surging through. That means that of our first round matchups, 3 of them were upsets. I want you to know that. Okay, we're in round 2. We're gonna go bottom up this time because I just had the Apple Jacks. We're gonna give it a little distance here. So let's do the Lucky Charms and the Frosted Flakes here. Let's get the Frosted Flakes going. I'm gonna give it another bite here. I gotta reset my palate. All right, let's get another Milky. I have a theory, chat. I'm trying to stay open-minded. Pretty tasty. All right, Lucky Charms. Get in there, grab a little handful. Pretty tasty. Just think about the whimsy of the hearts, stars, and horseshoes, clovers and blue moons, pots of golden rainbows, and a red balloon. In this limited edition one, there are no hearts, stars, and horseshoes, clovers, and blue moons. There's just clovers. Actually, there's pots of gold. I know I'm in the wrong, except that the texture of the marshmallows on Lucky Charms are awful. We ate something when we were overseas that was labeled as a marshmallow, and I was like, oh, that just felt like a Lucky Charm marshmallow. But I mean, it doesn't feel like a marshmallow. Like, I don't mind these, but it doesn't feel like a marshmallow. It does turn the milk green. I don't know if you'll be able to... I don't want to dip my whole bowl over. You can kind of see it in there. But the milk is definitely green. Here's how I feel. I like Lucky Charms and I like Frosted Flakes. I like them both. How I feel is, and this is less about what I'm doing right now, it's more memory of my experience with Lucky Charms. At some point in eating Lucky Charms, this may be near the bottom of the I don't know. I'm forced to eat spoonfuls that don't have a marshmallow in them. At some point, there's no marshmallow. And let me tell you, that is not good. It's gross. Not gross, it just doesn't taste like it's Cheerios. Every bite is good. Every flake is good. I like the bites with the marshmallows, but then there's also bites no marshmallows, and I don't like those bites. I like the whimsy. I like the hearts, stars, and horseshoes, but I also like a tiger that's great. Frosted Flakes, they're more than good. They're great. Actually, hold on. They're great. So for me, Frosted Flakes moves on. Lucky Charms gets left in the dust. 5 have been eliminated. It is time to eliminate our final cereal, CTC and Apple Jacks. A cinnamon showdown. 1 squares, 1 circles, 1 apples, 1 no apples, 1 a content creator apple and cinnamon stick. The other, this, whatever the that is. Let's get a little bite. CTC. You know what I'm gonna do? I want to try them side by side dry. Huh. It's honestly so close. Get some milk in here. I want to give them just a little time. We gotta see the SOG factor. Okay, registered in my brain. This was Max's dinner tonight. You're not wrong. Gotta make sure we get a little SOG factor on the Apple Jacks. We got them in there. Cheers. Okay. I've come to a decision. I do think that dry, the CTC is better than the Apple Jacks. I think that's because of the cinnamon coating. I think you get more cinnamon. I think that the Apple Jack stands up to the SOG factor a little bit more, but I still think the flavor comes through more on the CTC in the milk than the Apple Jack. It felt a little bit less prevalent once it hit the milk, once it started to get a little bit of that SOG. So for me, CTC is going to the finals. And then there were 2. Cinnamon Toast Crunch will face off against Frosted Flakes. Are they more than good? Can you actually see the taste? Find out today. Oh, I like Munch Madness. That's good. The finals coming to you right now. You know what? I saw somebody say a little Cheerio palate cleanser. Here we go. Cheerios, heart-shaped. God, that truly tastes like nothing. All right, Frosted Flakes. Again, I thought it was very helpful to do Drivey Dry, so I'm gonna do Drivey Dry again. Start with Frosted Flakes. Great flavor, very simple, just a little bit of sugar. Tasty. Now you should know, we're not doing this on nutrition facts today. I do appreciate that these Frosted Flakes nutrition facts are just strictly in Spanish. 130 calories with Frosted Flakes, 170 with CTC. That is again not going to be what we are basing this off of. CTC? Great dry cereal. It is a little messy. You're getting the cinnamon on your fingies. Look, it is the taste you can see though. Hey. Look at those cinnamon flakes. Look at that cinnamon on there. Okay, here's what we're doing. I got another bowl. We're gonna do both in milk at the same time. Now I'm going to take a bite immediately. We're gonna get them fresh in milk, and then we're gonna really let the sog factor go. We're milked up here, okay? We got both of them in milk. We are going to take a little bite. We're getting them right in the milk. Frosted Flakes. Delicious. CTC. Delicious. Now, we're gonna let them sit there for a minute. Okay, it's time. We've let it sog. Frosted Flakes. Those are soft, like an Escher painting. Okay. CTC. Also soft. Okay, here's what I say. They're both great dry. Excellent out-the-box dry eating cereals. I also like them fresh in milk. The crunch is really good. The sweetness comes through on both. The cinnamon comes through. They both suffer very hard from the sogginess, but when I eat them with the sog factor, one of them, while not crunchy, still tastes like itself. One of them has lost that taste. And when I ate the spoonful of soggy Frosted Flakes, that simple sweetness that I love is gone. It is just mush. Whereas the soggy CTC still has that cinnamon taste that I love and enjoy. It's not as strong, but it's still there, which means that I must give the big bracket win close, but I must give the big bracket win to the taste you can see. CTC. Cinnamon Toast Crunch! Yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you're so amazing. So anytime you're thinking about which of these breakfast cereals, when tasted, both dry and wet, when given the sog factor as a point of comparison, when facing off against the bracket of other most popular cereals there are, if you think of who is the face of the best tasting popular cereal, I want you to think of this one.